keeps falling and wonder where he is in all this mess. He's right there to guide you, unseen, you're not alone. His light shines on the past that we're not shown. Give me shelter, Lord, from this storm. As it poured, you made it cure. In an overcrowded mind, the hurt, it brings us down to where we reach for him. Our God above has hands to heal, saves us from our faults and fears, giving us the peace that we so desperately need. Give me shelter, Lord, from this storm.
Well, good evening, Milestone. Thanks for joining me tonight. It is Wednesday night. We're into November, and hope that you're doing well. We have a lot of things going on and a lot to talk about. And tonight, I want to take the opportunity just to give you some updates as to what's going on here in our ministry. We don't often kind of have an in-house conversation, and so I just want to do that and give you some thoughts as to where we are and what's going on and where we're heading. I want to remind you of our mission. Our mission continues to be the same. It will not change regardless of the circumstances of things that are going on around us. It doesn't change with the culture. It doesn't change with anything. Our mission continues to be the same. And very simply, our mission is really to grow closer to Jesus Christ and to lead others to understand who Jesus is and to become fully devoted followers of Jesus. And we say that in a lot of different ways. But our goal really simply is we want to know Jesus and get other people to understand who he is as well, and to follow very deeply. In Matthew chapter 4, I don't often point out this text, but I want to do that tonight. Matthew chapter 4, verse 19, Jesus, when he starts to talk with his disciples, the first conversation that is recorded with them, he says to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." He gives a very clear definition of what it looks like to follow him. It's not follow me and I'll give you a whole bunch of rules. It's not follow me and we're going to create a great religion together. It's not follow me and you're going to make money, or follow me and you're going to be broke, or follow me and it's follow me and here's the result. I will make you fishers of men. And in that same context, we see Jesus following that through in his ministry with the disciples, and then continuing it at the end of his life and saying to them, this is the mission. Go and make disciples, which are going and making fishers of men, essentially, so that you're following Jesus and you're reaching out to others as well. And so our mission does not change. And we've tried to do everything we could in 2020 to really take some steps there to reach people. And in the beginning of COVID, we began to reach out to people and try to help where we can and meet the needs of the people around us that we could. And we're continuing to do that. And right now we have some baskets that we're collecting of food, and we're going to continue to do that and see where we can meet the needs of people. We had an elders meeting last night. And we were talking there about how we suspect that there's going to be greater needs in the near future than we've had before. And so we want to be ready for that the best that we can. And so be willing to help out there if you can, and be in touch with us as to where the needs are as well. We want to not just help out people in our church, but in the community as well. We're aware that COVID is getting worse, in that many more people have contracted this virus, and we're really trying to stay vigilant as far as what our church is doing and how we operate and how we are reaching people. And so we talked about that a bit last night as well, and what we're currently doing with having just a gathering on Sunday mornings where it's limited to just 25% of our capacity, which is what is allowable by the state mandates. And we're limiting where you can be in the building and such. And so we're doing that and continuing to do that and trying to be as safe as we can there and follow the guidelines that are given to us, and that's how we measure our safety. And so we're continuing to do that, and we want to continue that for as long as we're able to. And we are not sure if the governor and the state decides to put us all into a lockdown again or not. We're not sure, and we don't control that, but we want to just do the best we can to meet together as much as possible during these times. But we also understand that we're not able to do that. Not everyone's able to do that. So how's this affected? People have been asking, how's this affected our finances? Because we haven't had a annual business meeting or a semi-annual business meeting. We have not been able to meet and have any kind of meetings to give you updates there, and we really don't publish our finances online. We are, as far as our budget goes, we are not hitting the budget that we set out last year, and we're not doing that, but we're also not hitting the expenses because we're not meeting here. Our expenses are down. We're not able to do the ministries that we were able to do, so our expenses are down, and the amount of offerings that come in are down as well. And the offering is a little bit lower than the expenses, but we had savings that was built up before that, and it's 4 times like this that we are using that. So that's where we are financially for the church, and we're doing everything we can to be just diligent with the finances and be able to use things wisely there. And so that's just a simple update of the finances of the church. The other part of our finances is we ask for people to donate in specific to missionaries, and we support, I think it's 16 missionaries. And in supporting those, we give them financial compensation, in a sense, to help them out, gifts to help them out so that they can stay in their mission field. And that's the category that's really hurting, where we're just kind of at the baseline trying to survive there and taking care of the missionaries. And so feel free to look into that a little bit more if you're able to be generous there and to help out. We would love for you to team up with us and partner in a way that helps us to reach out to our missionaries so that they can reach out to people around the world. And we continue to hear, and we're trying to keep you abreast of what's going on with the missionaries. We continue to hear that they are many are in very desperate times right now, where they are literally, their resources is going to helping people just to have food. And COVID has struck not just the United States, but throughout the world in major ways. And so we are blessed in that we have a nation that has a lot of resources here, but not every nation has that. And so we're going to keep on trying to reach out to our missionaries and help them the best that we can through this time especially. And so that's where we are with that. I'm excited, and let me just tell you, I'm excited for the missionaries we have. We have some awesome missionaries that are really just pushing hard to care for people at this time in their areas. And we're seeing missionaries that we're partnered up with, that they're not only affecting the social needs, the hunger, but they're really hitting the spiritual needs as well. And I'm excited for that, and hearing great reports of different missionaries throughout. And we'll share those with you every week. We're trying to share a different missionary to keep you updated there. Coming up, we have our Thanksgiving service next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. If you can be here in person, we'd love to have you. We're changing things up because of COVID, not because it's the way we prefer to, but because of COVID, we're trying to adjust some things for safety's sake. And so instead of being down in the fellowship hall, which is a little bit more limited, we're going to be up in the auditorium. And up in the auditorium here, we'll be able to share different testimonies of things that are going on in our lives to be an encouragement. And at the same time, we are going to have a Zoom meeting feed, and we'll share that with you on our Milestone page, so that on our Facebook page, so that you can jump onto that. If you're not comfortable with being here in person or not able to be here in person, you'll be able to get onto that Zoom meeting, and we want to try to give you the opportunity to share a testimony as well. Every year, what we do is we like to give thanks for what God has done in our lives in the previous year. And so we take that as a special time to be able to do that. And so we'll be doing that next Tuesday night. Starts at 7 and will only be about 45 minutes or so as far as a service time. And so that's what's going on. As far as our church services, as I said, we're going to remain open for as long as we can in a way that's responsible and safe. The holidays are coming up. Christmas is coming up, and some are already wondering, what are we going to do with Christmas Eve service? That's a very special service. And came up with an idea that I think will work well if we're allowed to do that. And the idea at this time is that we're going to do have our Christmas Eve service out on the front lawn with candlelight, and be able to be distanced and be outside and not sitting down. It'll be just standing around the front yard and having some special time there. We'll get you some more information as it gets closer, and certainly that's a decision that we'll make as far as that service goes, probably the week before even. But just want to let you know, we're thinking forward with those kinds of things. During this time, I really want to encourage you, church, be into your Zoom group. I know we have several different Zoom groups. Be involved in that. Get plugged in. Stay connected in those groups. And please share your prayer requests, things that are going on. If you're going through a hard time, if you're struggling, please open up and share with us so that we can pray for you and care for you. And I'll just say straight out, this has been one of the hardest seasons for me as a pastor. To be very limited in what I'm able to do, and to not be able to push hard forward the way I like to, and reaching out to people in the way I'd like to. And I love to be able to be creative, but there are so many hurdles to work through. And so it's been very challenging this year. I appreciate the encouragement, and I appreciate those that are kind of teaming around me in this ministry to really help us to be all that God wants us to be. And so be plugged into the Zoom group that you have. And if you aren't in a Zoom group yet, let us know. Let me know, or let Rebecca know. We'll get you into one so that you can stay plugged in and encourage with people. You don't have to be a member to be on a Zoom group. You don't have to be a regular attender to be in a Zoom group. That's open for people to be able to jump in and get connected for the sake of growing closer to the Lord and each other. So those are the things that are going on in our ministry. Next week, we will not have a Wednesday night thing, as we're having our Thanksgiving service on Tuesday night. And so I just wanted to let you know of that ahead of time. And I suspect that we'll be making some changes and some tweaks with what we do in the next coming few weeks as well. So be tuned in for that as well. Hey, thanks so much for joining me tonight. Thanks for being a part of our church, and thanks for your prayers. Thanks for all that you're doing for the Lord, and thanks for how you're caring for each other. Love you, church. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon. When life keeps falling and wonder where